All right, guys. Good morning, Wednesday. Hey, if you didn't have a chance, please be sure to watch Chapel. Today we're dealing with contractions with not. Page 120, 121. It kind of seems like a weird place to talk about contractions, but here's what's true about contractions. It kind of is where this gets tough because not is never part of the verb. That's actually what we call an adverb, a negative word. But the contraction is part of the verb phrase. I should say the first part of the contraction, like should and could and would. A lot of times, not every time, because there's some times where a contraction is I will. And there it's I, which is usually the subject, in that case a pronoun. Will, that's part of the verb, like I will go. They can contract that with I'll. Well, here's the deal. That's just simply why it's in the verbs section. But the main thing we want to learn here is how to contract words or how to form contractions with not is, I guess, more the point. So here's the deal. You can see here that some of these have with will and am and have and is, so on and so forth. We're mostly focusing on the contractions with not. So the do not and did not and things like that. However, I do like this chart because it shows you how to form the contractions. So in short, we're going to see a chart later on that talks about kicking out certain letters. But that's what you kind of got to understand is where you kick out letters is where you add what's called the apostrophe. And this is the apostrophe up here. So again, you take a look at what the words that you combine. Is not gets contracted, which just simply means, as it says, shorter way to isn't. And where this apostrophe goes is where you kick out, the only letter you kicked out you can see is the O. Now, sorry O, but it seems that a lot of times it's the O that gets kicked out when we're dealing with not. But you can take a look down here. You have goes to you. You have seen this movie or you've seen this movie. And you can see where the letters get kicked out. That's where you add the apostrophe. So again, here's really what we're focusing on are the words with not. I want to focus on a couple here, but I first want to review what we just learned. You can see how all these O's in the word not a single one of them have it here. And that's always where you put the apostrophe. You always put that apostrophe where you kick out the O. Now a couple things here is notice in the word cannot. You might hear your little cousin say, I can't do it. Well, he's really saying I cannot do it, right? But to contract it, which is perfectly fine, is can't. Please notice you also kick out two letters. It doesn't matter. There's somewhere you kick out more than two letters, but in this case, even though you kick out two letters, you still put the apostrophe where you kick it out. Now, some of these you're probably used to. Are not is aren't. Do not is don't. Have not is haven't. The tricky one here, guys, is take a look at this. Will not. No, I will not go. You don't ever say, no, I wilt go. Wilt isn't a word. It changes completely to won't. Why? It just does. Won't. I won't go. Most of them, you can see how they connect or how they're contracted. Would not to wouldn't. So again, most of them you can really see how they work together well. But again, don't ever use the word wilt. It's not a word. Will not goes to won't. Here's that chart I referred to earlier about the people that you kick them out, so to speak. Cannot. You kick out the N-O, and that's where you add the apostrophe. Notice this is supposed to be she will, but they're showing that you kick out the W-I, and that's where you add the apostrophe. She'll go to the store. So again, instead of she's, it goes to she is. Instead of will not, it goes to won't. Instead of let us, it goes to let's, so on and so forth. That's the contractions. I strongly advise you open to page 120 and 121 if it helps you out. In this case for today, you have the two words that you need to contract. What I mean by that is, here they show you have not. you need to contract it to haven't. Again, notice where you kick out the letter, and here it's kind of nice because they actually give you the letters to kick out. They actually underline it. That's where you put the apostrophe and you join the words together. So some children haven't read this story. Haven't you heard of King Midas? You contract this, and a lot of times if you look on page 120, 121, it'll actually tell you exactly how to do it, but you really just write Haven apostrophe T. Again, the underlined letter here, that's what you kick out, and you place it an apostrophe right in there. There's your assignment, guys. We're going to go through this once again tomorrow, but I do want to wish you guys Lord's blessings today as you praise the Savior.